The South African Human Rights Commission is expected to continue with its National Investigative Hearings into the July unrest in the country. The process set to focus on events as they happened in Gauteng and will also feature evidence from the KwaZulu-Natal sitting. Well, let's get an update now. I'm joined by eNCA reporter Silindelo Masikane. Good afternoon, Silindelo. Hearings, of course, have resumed today. Who's testifying?
Well, Bradan, we find ourselves back in Sandton today for the July Unrest hearings by the South African Human Rights Commission. And the hearings today resumed with testimony from two representatives, community members from Soweto in particular. You would remember that Soweto was one of those townships that was hardest hit by the events of the July Unrest. So we heard from Themba Makubela as well as Ms. Tidi, and they're from the Bahlali Baduli Soweto Housing Committee in Soweto. And most of their testimony, rather, should I say majority of the testimony, was around the fact that the community of Soweto and residents in particular felt that the policing and law enforcement around that time was really, really poor. They believe that community members in particular made efforts to warn police ahead of time about the looting that was going to take place, but also saying that they also believe that poverty in particular played a large role because people were just desperate enough to participate in the looting. But let's just take a listen to Mr. Themba Makubela regarding the issue of policing at the time.
When it comes to their constitutional mandate as outlined in Section 205 subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, which states that the object of the police service is to prevent, combat, and investigate crime, to maintain public order, to protect and secure the inhabitants of the Republic and their property, and to uphold and enforce the law. Close quote. As Soweto citizens, we were deprived those services by the local police. As leaders from Soweto, we were not surprised by the lack of proper and coordinated response on that fateful day from police, because it's what our communities are subjected to daily when it comes to policing in our areas. Our police stations are facing numerous challenges of lack of resources, like motor vehicle, shortage of staff personnel, in terms of ratio of police to a number of committee members to service our area.
Silindelo, any word from community leaders about the effects post the looting last July?
Definitely, that's one of the issues that were brought up by the community leaders from Soweto this morning, that even today, the effects of the looting in Soweto are still being felt. Many people lost their jobs because many of the businesses that were looted didn't reopen their doors, saying that a lot of the businesses in Soweto are black-owned, and they were providing jobs to the residents, allowing those people who were employed in these businesses to be able to feed their families, saying that some of the malls as well are still not operating at full capacity, but really saying that the issue of unemployment has now been exacerbated in the township because of the looting that took place and the businesses that were destroyed. Let's take a listen to Ms. Tidi Madisikwan.
As much as at times we view the Checkers, the Pick and Pay, Mr. Price, and all these other retail stores as belonging to the white people, but most of those belonged to our own brothers and sisters who are also black South Africans. And those owners of shops that were looted, they also contributed in assisting our community when poverty strikes, because we live in poverty in Soweto. What also saddened us was the lack of participation in terms of our SAPS personnel. Most of the areas that were looted, I'm going to make an example in Meadowlands. We have Meadow Point, we've got Fire Mall. Between them, there's a police station. And when such happened, there was no police personnel that could go and stop or assist. And as we all know, police stations operate 24 hours. But unfortunately, there wasn't any help for those owners that are owning those shops. A lot of people lost their jobs. Even now, most are not employed because the owners of those shops, they couldn't open anymore.
Now, Silindelo, what can we expect after the lunch break as they continue with their hearings today?
Well, after the lunch break, Bradan, we are expecting testimony from community leaders from the township of Alexandra, another township which was quite badly affected. In fact, many of the malls that were looted there have not reopened. So we will be hearing from community leaders from Alexandra around their views on what took place in July, as well as what they believe should happen moving forward.